Host Robert Patillo and founder of the PatriotAcademy.com, Rick Green. Gentlemen, thank you for your patience and for sticking around. I want to give you plenty of time to digest this because of the breaking news. Again, the president was supposed to deliver his economic plan live with those remarks at 11:30. That took place a little later. Thank you both for sticking around and listening to what the president had to say. And again, for the first time in quite a while, he took quite a few questions from reporters. So if you're just tuning in now, probably no big surprise. Robert Patillo is in line with the president's plan, thinks it's going to turn America around. Rick Green, not on board. But I want to talk about the Republicans' counterplan. So you heard Senator Rick Scott of Florida being mentioned there. He has an 11-point plan that's he's just introduced. You heard the president there attacking it. But even some Republicans aren't quite on board, including Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. Rick, can you dive into that a little bit and give us your thoughts on Senator Rick Scott's 11-point plan and whether or not you're on board or if you agree with Senator Mitch McConnell?
I got to be honest, I haven't looked at his plan yet, so ill-prepared for that. But policies and principles matter. Rhetoric's great, accusing the other side of raising taxes or lowering taxes. That all sounds great, and unfortunately it plays to the masses. But in truth, it's all about the actual principles, the actual policies. And Robert, nice try trying to rewrite history, but the misery index in the late 1970s was a direct result of trying to control the economy, of government micromanaging, price fixing, all the things Jimmy Carter loved doing. Frankly, Gerald Ford did too, so I'll join you there on criticizing Gerald Ford. But it was Reagan's policies of actual tax cuts and less regulation that brought us out of that and gave us the greatest economic peacetime expansion in history. And the 2008 crash, you're trying to blame it on George Bush. There's no doubt what caused it. It was government intervention, socialist policies, trying to put everybody in a house that could not afford a house. It matters. This is what actually counts. And Biden's policies, what he said today was, we want more government control. He wants to actually go in and try to create competition in the market on meat packing by, again, government picking winners or losers. These people don't get it. They don't understand economics. Get government out of the way. Government is the problem, not the solution.
Well, I do want to, just because we're tight on time with this segment, so, and I know this was unfair because we weren't expected to talk about this today, Rick, so my apologies, but I want to talk about Rick Scott, the other Rick, his plan, calling for a new minimum tax on the middle class, firefighters and teachers. That would mean an average of almost $1,500 less in families' pockets of each year. This is according to the White House. Senator Mitch McConnell, he opposes parts of Scott's agenda that would increase income taxes, he says, on lower income Americans and sunset, you heard the president there mention this, Social Security and Medicare within 5 years. But playing devil's advocate here, I do want to go to you, Robert, though. Are you on board with everything that the president had to say? I mean, I had to kind of shake my head a little bit when he said, yes, you're right. We are in power. We control all three branches of government, and then just kind of seemed to suggest, but it's complicated. Well, doesn't the buck stop with him at some point? I mean, he's been in office for over a year now, almost a year and a half.
Very much, and I think that's what the American people want. We want to go back to the Harry Truman days, where it just says the buck stops here on the desk. Because for most Democrats in particular, when you look at what the Democrats laid out as their agenda in 2020, it's a far cry from what we've seen enacted into law. And yes, Republicans are going to be obstinate in Congress, going to be recalcitrant. President Biden said, "I did not expect this Republican Party." How the hell did you not expect this Republican Party? You thought they were going to be on board with anything you did? This is now gladiator warfare when it comes to American policy, because you're not going to get anything besides party line votes in the United States Senate. So he's going to have to use every tool in his toolbox to try to break the back of this inflation and rebuild the American economy. On this question of gas prices.
Speaking of the Republican Party, because we're going to have to come up again, I apologize for another commercial break. I do want to get both of you, and we'll continue that conversation, Robert, but I do want to get your reaction to this new phrase coming out of Biden's mouth that he's been using lately, this ultra MAGA, referring to the Republicans as this is the ultra MAGA party. I'm just curious, Rick, I want to get you to weigh in on that. Could that also work against him? We'll get both of you to react to that when we come back. We'll be right back.